I had a friend many years, and every time I talked to her, she just told me how much better she was doing. She was always getting better. Finally, I said, 30 years ago, we were saying the same exact thing. You're getting better. And I'm just thinking, when are you going to be good enough? When is that day going to come when you can just fully 100% accept yourself, warts and all, the way you are now? And so that would be my question to you. When is the day when, okay, maybe things aren't all perfect, and maybe they'll never be all perfect. In fact, it's unlikely that they'll ever be all perfect because of the way the nature of the mind is to evaluate and judge and pick apart. And so it's never going to be done. The work's never going to be done. You just get it to a certain point, and then you say, am I ready and willing to accept it the way it is? Now, no matter how bad your problems are, if you get to a place of full acceptance, they're not problems anymore. All of the problems are based in non-acceptance, okay? So if you can bring yourself to a place of, okay, this is how I am, this is the good, this is the bad, this is the ugly, and, I don't care anymore. All my job here is just to love it the way it is, okay? When that happens, you don't have any more problems, and your work is done, and you can retire, okay? Right now, the ego is working so hard, trying to fix itself, trying to do that, trying to do, and help, and this and that, and it's like, okay, maybe it's done a good enough job. So at a certain point, it's like, you can give it up. You don't have to struggle with it anymore. And, you can actually see how it works. You can only take it so far for so long. Just the key, look at it, and if you're not able to accept it, then you're going to have problems, and you can work on those problems. That's all right. But you will not find the peace that you're really yearning for, you see? So you're here at Satsang, and I think everyone here at Satsang, there's some sort of yearning for something more, something deeper, you see? So that something deeper is sitting back, waiting for you to be ready. And so it's like, are you ready to have that unconditional love be a primary part of your existence, even though you're not perfect? You see? Hey, no one's perfect. And like I said, Baba, he was hanging out with these enlightened beings that were just totally out there. One of them would not wear any clothes ever. He just wouldn't. The other one had that disease where he just wore layers and layers of clothes. There you go, Giri Baba. It's like, he's certifiable. It's India, you can get away with all this stuff. But, because they have a certain leeway for enlightened beings. Here we would probably lock them up or give them some special medication. So just, you don't have to be perfect the way your mind thinks you should be perfect. But at any moment, you can be absolutely perfect the way you are. And the truth is, without the personal involvement with your thoughts and feelings, and without the judgment, you wouldn't have any more problems with it. It wouldn't be a problem. It probably wouldn't even, a lot of it would never come up. It just wouldn't even arise. So, and the stuff that did arise, you just wouldn't care. You just wouldn't care about it. So you see now, I used to be far more impatient than I am today, but some of it remains. Some of it remains. Now, when Kelly first got together with me, so she didn't know about my impatience, my way, because it didn't come up much. But so I'm driving around Costco parking lot, and she's going, "Why don't you just park?" I said, "Well, I have to find my space." I always had to park up on the first row, and maybe the second. I always had to. I just kept driving around till I'd found it. She fell on the floor of the car laughing. You see, that part remained. That aspect remained. But I wasn't bothered by it. It was just part of how I am. Okay? Now, Ramana Maharshi, there he is. Ramana Maharshi, the great, great, amazing being that he was. Well, he was so meticulous about not wasting anything that he would go to the kitchen and he would find a mustard seed on the ground, and he would pick it up and put it back where it belonged. He would do that. He was totally insane about being resourceful and not wasting anything. And someone asked him, he said, "I could never get married. No wife could put up with me with this particularity like that." You see, so in any case, everyone has their particular thing. Some of it is just in your genes. You have particular genes that are making you do and think certain things. And you can't help it. It's just there. But here's the difference. The difference is you want to fix it. You want to make it feel better. You don't like the way you want it to be more smooth and healthy and whatever your concept is. You see. Enlightened being just doesn't care. Now you see, we've been listening to Nisargadatta. Now that's Ramesh's guru, but we're listening for the intensive month, and I'm still listening to this I Am That book, which is like a spiritual classic, especially for Advaita Vedanta. It really is one of the Bibles. So now, in the book, he sounds like a really cool guy, right? And just insightful. But in person, this guy liked to argue with you. He loved it. He thrived. He would pick a fight with you just to get that in. He enjoyed it. That's how he taught. He taught by busting everyone's balls, by arguing with them. And throwing their arguments to the ground and telling you what it was. And that was his way. Okay? Now, Ramesh, who was his disciple, was just the kindest, nicest man you ever want to meet. He would never. But Nisargadatta, that was his personality. That was his teaching method. He incorporated it in. So I'm sure in the world of genes, where things you're born with, that was in his genes. I'm sure as an astrologer could look at his chart, say, "Ooh, you got a lot of fire in there. You like to fight with people." Like that. Ramesh's chart, "Oh, you're a mellow guy." You see, so it's all built in. A lot of your behavior, there's some conditioning and there's some biology, but it's all predetermined. You see, we like to think of ourselves as free will, but things are already set up. Everything's set up. Your conditioning is already set up. Things were meant to happen in your life. Certain kinds of traumas, certain things that will make you behave in a particular way, and then you have particular genes that draw out certain parts of your personality. The astrology is there. You were born in a particular time. It's all set up. Everything's set up. And you see, if you can see it that way, then you can also, maybe this isn't all in my control anyway. You see, there's that idea that you can control your life, and there's the idea that you're actually doing something. I don't think you're doing anything. I, I think you're doing something just like Bugs Bunny did something in the cartoon. You see? The real is already there. It's already set up. If you believe in the Akashic records, I think we talked about this last time. If you believe in the Akashic records, where there's a record of every thought, every feeling, every life in the past, in the present, in the future, if it's already written, then what can you do? What can you do really? And if there is a place where the past, present, and future are all one, if there is that place, well, then then this idea of you moving from the past to the future is just illusionary. It's not real. You see? You have that feeling, and then you think you're actually doing something. You see? And it looks like you're doing something. It feels like you're doing something. But you know what? God's pulling all the strings. You're the puppet. And, you feel like you're doing something. But it's not so. And, my example that I give a lot is, in 10,000 years, what are people going to think you did? You see? And there was someone who existed 10,000 years ago who thought they were at least as important as you, and that what they were doing was really something. And what do we think about their life? Did they do anything? Maybe, vaguely. Who knows? Well, it's like that now. It's like that now, but now it's you and it feels different. So it's just be with it. Just be with it, watch it, and you see that silence? That's your home. That's your home. That stillness, that's your home. This is a show. This is a show. Let's say it's better than most dreams, higher quality. Okay, but it's not your home. You see, don't mistake it for your home. That's all. Remember who you are, and make it your job not to forget, because the mind causes you to forget. You see, it causes you to slide into this forgetfulness. And when you identify with your thoughts, when you think that you're actually doing something, then you're full on pretending. You see, and there's something, at least for me, there was something very attractive about that stillness, because the peace that was there, the peace that I had never known, that I really wanted. You see, I wanted it for me. I didn't know that it actually was me, but I found that out. You see, so what you're getting now through satsang is a reminder of home. You can carry that with you and just remember, continually remember home. That's what I recommend. Now, was that too abstract?
No, that was right on.
Okay, good. This stuff is, the words are abstract. The actual thing isn't. The actual thing is so solid, and the thing is, though, the actual thing is not in the words. The words, if we're lucky, they point to the actual thing. But the actual thing is beyond any concept or word, because it's beyond all of that. You see, all the concepts and words are locked in this sense of separation. They're locked in this sense of limitation. So just but you already feel it. So you know what I'm talking about, what I'm really talking about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Colleen. I appreciate it.